Are my important documents organized and easy to find?
I hope so. Hi, I'm Kari Jennings Arnold, Advanced Planning Specialist with Groff Funeral Homes. We're back again to talk a little bit more about pre-planning. Last time we touched on the questions that I get all the time when I meet with families. Today we're going to go a little bit deeper, a little bit more emotional, so these questions are more about your thoughts and feelings when it comes to pre-planning.
Do I want my service to be more traditional, celebratory, or something unique?
So this is something that people should think about, because nowadays people are kind of going away from the funeral home feeling setting, if you will. We don't have to have funerals in a funeral home anymore. We do have a nice, the Legacy Center across the street where we hold celebrations. And some people are still sticking with churches, so there's still a variety of different things that we can do, and people should think a little bit more about if they don't want to be so traditional.
What do I want people to feel or remember about me during my service?
This is another good point to think about. When I sit down with families, I don't just jot down their funeral wishes. We go in a little bit deeper into their obituary and things like that their family will want to remember about them. And kind of my favorite part is they tell me something and they say, my kids don't even know this about me. So leaving behind a memory in a different way that your kids wouldn't even know or remember is really cool.
Who will be responsible for carrying out my wishes, and are they prepared?
Good question. We always ask, who do you want to be in charge of your arrangements at your time of passing? Legally, we know what we have to do by the state of Ohio, which is your closest living next of kin. Even if they're estranged, they are the one in charge. Even if you just say, I want my second son to be in charge of my arrangements, and you pass away, and guess what? You have 3 children. All 3 children are in charge of your arrangements at your time of passing. I like to talk to all my cremation families about appointing one specific person to be in charge of their arrangements, because cremation is very, very final. We do have a form that we can sign that appoints one person to be in charge, and a lot of people don't know about this form because it is a legal Ohio Revised Code form that we at the funeral home carry. Also, a common misconception is that when you have a power of attorney, that person can still make decisions after a passing. A power of attorney only exists when someone is living. So after a passing happens, power of attorney is no longer good.
Are there digital assets, subscriptions, or accounts someone will need access to?
I always say it's a good thing to write all these things down. My dad had 1,000 passwords for 1,000 different things. Thankfully, he put them in an Excel spreadsheet, and we were able to access all of his documents and things. So I say it's always good to have a place to put down all your passwords and things like that. Also, we do have another place to put these things. As I mentioned in our last conversation, our Thoughtful Decisions Guide, this does have a location where you can list all your important documents, all your passwords, except for there's so many passwords, I would say get another piece of paper for your passwords. But yes, it's always a good idea to document all your passwords and all your where all your important documents are located.
What exactly is guaranteed, and what could change in cost over time?
Good question. So I say our funeral arrangements are broken down into 3 categories. The services of the funeral home, our merchandise, and cash advances. So our services and our merchandise, those we guarantee the cost of, is when you prepay with us, we lock in the cost so your family will never have to worry about those costs ever again. The 3rd category, cash advances, these are third-party items that we don't have any control over at the funeral home, but we want to help your family with these things, so they're not running around all town calling florists, calling whomever, writing a dozen checks to all these different places. We just do everything as a convenience for the family to make things a little bit easier, but because of that, we cannot control the cost of them.
Do I want to leave instructions for charitable donations or memorial contributions?
Absolutely. A lot of people do have charities that are close to their hearts, and they give donations to them while they're living. So usually we ask if we want to mention donations to any charities in their obituary notice, so we can keep continuing to give to that organization.
What would I regret not planning ahead for?
If there's a best part to planning for a funeral, I would say it's going through pictures. To me, that was my favorite thing. When someone is cremated, I highly, highly recommend talking to your family about what happens to the urn after the cremation takes place. With cremation, there are so many options out there now. Yes, you can take the urn home, but so many times the family members are like, what do I do with this urn now? Most churches recommend laying the urn to rest so they have a final place of memorialization, a place that we can go to celebrate a person. Scattering is an option. A lot of people think that scattering is illegal. It is not illegal. It just depends where it is. If you're on someone else's private property, yes, that is illegal.